Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Money Mondays. I am Belinda Ray, the Director of Strategic Partnerships here at GPCOG. And
I'm Paul Johnson, the Economic Development Director here at GPCOG.
we are here for Money Mondays, if you can't tell from our backgrounds. Yeah, we go a little over the top with that, but we like it. We're here to share regional funding resources and opportunities with our member communities and partners. And if you have any questions as we are going through, please type them into the chat and we will answer at the end. Also, we will email a copy of the slides, and then we always share a link to our YouTube channel where you can see all of the past Money Mondays videos, many of them with dates still upcoming. So be sure to check them out and check in with us if you have any questions. And with that, we will go ahead and get started.
Okay, I will lead us off. My topic today is really short and sweet, but it is super useful. It is Maine Business Answers. It is a little section of the Maine DECD. I believe it's through the Office of Business Development, but it's essentially a resource. It's a hotline or an email and a website that if you are a business owner that says, hey, where do I get started? What do I do? What are the legal steps I have to go through? But it also has lots of information about data, and it has lots of information about if you're, like, we'll get a lot of emails, or I'll get a lot of emails saying, hey, are there any grants in the pipeline for businesses? And sometimes I don't know all of them, right? Because if we're not administrating the grant, I might be a little bit unaware of what's happening. So this is like the direct line to the Maine DECD. And I know there are a few economic development directors in this audience. And if you're ever sitting around saying, geez, I wish I had that stat, or, I'm a little embarrassed because I'm looking for the employer numbers here or here in my town, and I don't know where to get them, use this hotline and use this email. So Belinda, if you want to go to the next slide, that's the email. Just copy it down and pepper them with questions. Just if you have a question and you can't figure out where to go to business.answers@maine.gov. It's like a concierge service. They're super eager to help. So again, it is made for small business and medium business owners, but economic development directors, myself, I use this all the time. It's one or two people at the DECD. And the little secret is they have contracts with like the Coin Association and other different data partners on the back end. So when you give them like these data requests, a lot of times they're using a contract they have with somebody on the back end, and they'll get you the stuff that you need. So again, business.answers@maine.gov. That link right there is also active. You can click on it. You can send it to other owners, business owners in your town if you're an economic development director. And again, how does it relate to money? Is the DECD is making more of an effort to not treat every business grant as a one-off, and they're trying to collect more data and more businesses that might say, hey, put me on a distribution list, put me in this bucket, and make me aware of these industry-specific grants or funding opportunities. And this interaction can start with that. So, and just as a side note, I would take a quick moment to plug, if you haven't checked already, GPCOG, we actually have a community profile part of our website that takes all the census data. It makes it super digestible, and it's broken down by every town. So again, if you are looking for some of the data and perhaps you're not the best at sorting through the census website, we have a pretty sweet interface. So if you want to email me directly, I can just send you the link, but it's on our website. So again, business.answers@maine.gov. Abuse it, use it, realize that there's 2 or 3 people in the background, very eager to answer any questions or produce anything you need.
Thanks, Paul. And I'll just say with that community profile site, when I was a city councilor in Portland, I was all over that all the time. I was constantly checking our stats because it was a really easy resource. So yes, definitely get in there. Okay, today I wanted to discuss the Housing Opportunity Program, which is also DECD. We're doing a DECD double down today. This is a program that was established by the state, and it's to support the development of more housing, because we all know we need more housing desperately around the state. We want to grow it smartly. So this is a program for that with a focus on affordable units that are affordable to low and moderate income individuals, but all housing. Any increase in housing is a subject of this program. There have already been some awards through this program. When they first started it in 2023, the first thing they did was offer 5K to 10K payments to communities to help them prepare for LD 2003 going live. The second thing was a little later, that was kind of July. Then in the fall, they did service provider grants. And these were grants to go out to organizations that would provide technical assistance to communities to help them increase housing opportunities in their communities, figure out how to grow, where to grow, what's the barrier, all of those things. And then in 2024, January, I think, they opened up municipal grants to go directly to municipalities. Now that round of funding closed in March, and those are still under consideration. As far as I know, they have not yet made those awards, but I would expect them to be coming soon. So what we are talking about today is the fact that there is a second round of service provider grants coming this fall. And again, service provider grants help someone like GPCOG work with municipalities to do things, ordinance development, any kind of technical assistance around housing, looking to increase housing opportunities. Technical assistance can take a lot of different forms. Could be a housing needs assessment, and that's something that we worked on in North Yarmouth, I believe. Could be site identification and planning, trying to figure out, do you have land where you could potentially change the zoning? This is a place where you want to grow. What would it look like? And that's work that we've been doing with Bridgeton, with Casco. Ordinance review, policy recommendations, community engagement. Do you need someone to get out in your community and help people understand why you need housing, where you need housing? Assistance complying with things like LD 2003 or other state laws, education training, build out scenarios, data and mapping. It can take a lot of forms. So this is a chance for a community to get funding that will help pay for all of this technical assistance. So you get all of these things done and you don't have to pay GPCOG to do it. Features of this program. So the funding, I'll just be clear, the funding comes to an organization like GPCOG, and we are planning to apply for this. You work usually with 2 to 5 communities. So we're looking for communities to partner with, to work with on this grant. We want to know what your projects are, what housing needs you have, ordinance review, anything that you need around housing. We want to know about it so that we can potentially work with you to craft a project to submit and get funded with this money. As we said, you see timeline there, we expect this to be published in the fall with applications likely due in December. So then projects would begin pretty quickly after that. This funding is flexible. There's nothing that says how much goes to one municipality or another. In 2023, the maximum amount of funding that an organization could get was $75,000, and we split that between 4 communities, I believe. Couple of communities, it was 25,000. The others, it was 12,500, I think. This year, we think it's going to be higher. So there's potential for more money or more communities. There is a cost share. It's a 15% cost share. So if we were going to spend 20,000 in your community, that would need to be 85% of the total cost, and you'd need to match the other 15%, but it can be in kind. So that is very helpful. And I think everyone that we've worked with so far has done in kind, and often the staff time that you contribute or space for community meetings, that can add up to the in kind pretty quickly. The priorities are around, they want to award service providers with capacity, expertise, and previous experience. Clear project descriptions are important. A clear explanation of the need and robust community engagement as it is appropriate on a project. The difficulty on this one, it's a 1. We finally got a 1, and that's because we do all the work. We put in the application. All we need from you are ideas for you to say, hey, we have some housing work we'd love you to help with. And then we do all the work and put in the application and arrange all of the timeline after that. More information. These are the folks you would contact at GPCOG to say, hey, I have an idea. I want to be considered for this. Andrew Zaro, Emmy Ham. You can use that link to check out the list of people that were awarded last year. And it gives just a little brief, phrase snippet about what the project was. You can get an idea. And then I have the page for the Housing Opportunity Program right there, and that will give you information on the program, the legislation that enabled it, and past funding that has occurred. That is what I have for today. So let me stop the share, check the questions. I do not see questions. Paul Johnson, do you have more wisdom to share?
I'm all out of wisdom for the morning.
It is early. It is
Yeah.
early. I am on my second cup of coffee. I'm expecting more wisdom once this is done. So that's what we have. Please feel free to reach out to us with any questions and check out that YouTube channel for past Money Mondays. And if you have ideas, if there's an opportunity out there, you're like, I've heard of this and I don't know what it is. Can you guys do something on it? Let us know and we will cover it. And with that, at 9/11, thank you for joining us. And we will see you not next week because it is Labor Day, but the week after that. So enjoy that 3-day weekend and we will see you soon. Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.